Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Well, now this was something that I certainly was not expecting to watch take place, but am rather very glad that it did, because with the way things are going at the moment, we are going to need everything that everyone can possibly offer in giving it their very best, because anything less will it only go on to further guarantee our extinction if we aren't able to go and turn things around in time.
Our story now continues back over on Earth with the entirety of Capsule Corp being shown under siege, as Gamma 1 is shown defending both Dr. Hedo and Bulma from an onslaught of demons who are now looking to make their way inside, to which it was only just upon with Bulma and Dr. Hedo being shown panicking as they were trying to come up with a solution was when Dr. Hedo went on to then quickly respond, "Oh, damn it all, for it would appear as though Gamma 1's energy readings are rapidly dropping as he seems to be reaching his output limits, as there is no way that he can go and keep this level of resistance going for much longer, but until the updating process for both Android 17 and 18 are complete, then we have no other choice but to go and hold the line while we still can until something were to go and suddenly change within our favor," Dr. Hedo says. And so I say, unless we are to go and lose everything that we've been fighting very hard to protect here, then override the cryogenic lock if you have to, because we need 17 and 18 on the battlefield right now. Oh, I never thought I'd ever come to see the day where such creatures would be storming through the halls of Capsule Corporation like this and tearing everything apart while we wait for them to go and reach, as Bulma responds. And since they've already went as far as to go and breach through the eastern wing, the entire laboratory is about to be overrun, and what's worse is once they reach and are able to go and get to the main reactor, then it'll be lights out for all of us. But, well, since the cryogenic process seems to be at 97%, we just need for Gamma 1 to go and buy us a few more minutes until it is done, so that way the updating process can reach 100%, Bulma continues. And so do you think you can go and do that for us, Gamma 1? Because 2 more minutes is all we need, and the rest will be in their hands upon their arrival, and so do you think that you can go and do it? With Gamma 1 having to respond, "Well, I hate to have to go and break it to you both, but you'll need to go and hurry and speed this up while you still can, because they won't stop coming, and I can only do so much whilst holding them off alone. And so whatever the two of you got going on," Gamma 1 continues, "it better go and be a good one, because they've reached through my energy blasters, and they are now just down the hall from where you both currently are. And so while I can't go and promise you both that I'll be able to go and hold them off for about another minute or two, whatever you are both hoping is going to work better go into effect right now before we end up losing everything." But even then, within that very moment, as Gamma 1 was being shown having to get tackled by several oncoming demons and looking to make their way through, was when one of the elite demons that goes by the name of Kaima went on to then respond, "Oh, and just like that, cornered is the machine, as he will no longer be what stands in between us and having him defend you any longer. Now go and move him aside, for we are just about to be in the middle of something very important, my fellow demons," as the secondary elite demon that goes by the name of Kyrax went on to then respond, "So what say you, Kaima? Shall we go and tear these two humans apart now and get this over with, or do you think that we should go and have a little fun with them first?" Well, I do have my eyes on that little blue-eyed mortal woman over there who is standing right next to that fat little pudgy human next to her, and so I don't really know, as I can't seem to make up my mind. But what say you, Kyrax? With Kyrax responding, then let's just go and get this over with by chewing through their bones as we feast upon their organs before we continue on our mission in purging this world once and for all, Kaima. As Bulma and Dr. Hedo were shown clicking on a button with Kaima responding, well, in due time, Kyrax, in due time. I mean, what are these two pathetic Earthlings going to possibly hope to go and do onto us that their little secondary machine in the hallway just now wasn't able to go and do on its own? Kaima questions, as these two are the ones whom Haas had warned us about, because since they don't come close in possessing the necessary battle power to go and do anything to stand up against us, they instead make up in their superior intelligence over the rest of them, which could grow into becoming a problem if these little worms aren't carefully dealt with. But since we now have them both exactly where we want them to be, Kaima continues, and I guess it's best to see our mission through and wipe them both out now before we carry on, with Bulma having to respond, well, little do you know that you and your buddies had went and made a huge mistake by attacking this planet the way you all just did, and so just you wait, because very soon you will both be extremely sorry, with Kaima being shown approaching Bulma by then responding, and what exactly do you expect will happen by having you smash all of those keys on that board behind you that'll go and make any sort of difference here between us, Bulma? Oh, such a pretty little mortal woman you are, and yet what a massive thorn in our side you have become. And so tell me, any last words? With the dire Bulma being shown noticing two oncoming blasts making their way towards her by then responding, well, since you are leaving me with no other choice here but to offer you my final words, then all I truly have to go and say here is brace yourself, Dr. Hedo! To which it was only surprisingly enough as two energy blasts were then shown having to make their way and smashing through the demons and causing them to fly out through the other side and outside of Capsule Corp, was when Dr. Hedo then went on to respond, and just where the heck did those just come from? The entire building feels as though it's about to go and collapse, Bulma, with Bulma responding, well, I did urge for you to go and hurry and duck to avoid any blowback now, didn't I? Well, right, but that was far too close to comfort, Bulma, and I don't intend to go and lose my head here either, especially since it would be best for us both, along with the rest of the city, that I do. But look there, I think one of them is emerging from the shadows right in front of us down this hallway. Hey, look, Bulma then went on to quickly turn her head by responding, as I just knew that those upgrades would go and come in handy in seeing those two back to being front and center like how they used to be. You see, I told you that it would all work out for the better in the end, Dr. Hedo. And so welcome back, you two, and you guys look great, with the demon scientist Sugami having to respond, artificial humanoid programmed intelligence, but of course, or I should have known that these humans would eventually become intelligent enough to go and forge their own formidable androids, and now look, for this doesn't appear as though it'll be good, especially with there now being two of them who approach me, to which it was only then seconds later through the smoke as both Ultra Android 17 and Ultra Android 18 were then shown having to reveal themselves, was when Ultra Android 17 then went on to respond, well, would you go and look at that, 18, for we have barely stepped out of our cryogenic chambers and we have already found ourselves knee-deep in Hellspawn. How very typical, but lucky enough, of course, for us, we are not the ones who should be worried here, because you demons have no idea on what it is that you have just walked yourselves into, 17 continues, and so if they are looking for a war, then fine, for we will gladly go and give them one, and we'll make sure to go and do it on our terms as well. And since they came here looking to go and cause destruction, we are about to go and turn that destruction right back around onto them. And so what do you say we go and give these monsters exactly what they've been looking for, 18? With 18 responding, then what do you say we go and grind these demons down into exhaustion and we make them all suffer for just a little, so that way they can know on exactly what it felt like when they themselves had went and had done the same onto so many of the other innocent people before us, 17, because I am in no mood to go and play any kind of games here with these things, especially not with her over there, and so whatever you do, make sure that you leave her up to me, with Tsugami then having to respond, no, this wasn't supposed to happen, for these two were nowhere near in being a part of the equation, and so how could I have been so short-sighted to go and overlook such things? For I knew that this Capsule Corp held advanced technology, but to program such androids to this magnitude, and to further go on to build such androids who would be capable enough of standing against the Demon Legion itself, is simply and utterly unacceptable. Bro, what an infuriating setback. These damn humans and their endless ingenuity, always tampering with the unknown and always finding a way to evolve beyond any other previous expectation, for I have went and underestimated them both. And as I thought that their advancements were bound by the limits of their mortality, but I can now see that I was clearly in the wrong to do so, with Ultra Android 17 having to then respond, hey, so we think that it would be for the best if the two of you were to go and clear the way for just a second while we go and address the old man here in his fancy little lab coat there while we can, with Ultra 18 having to then respond, and since we have a feeling that you are some kind of scientist yourself, then how's about we go and give you a little helping hand there and having you go and take this back to your laboratory in the demon realm, with Tsugami responding, well actually android mortals, I think that it would be wise for me to go and gain a larger standing here against you rather than being limited to the spaces within this lab, and so, if you truly wish to go and get your filthy hands on me as badly as you claim that you do, Tsugami continues, then I will go and see you both on the other side of these walls here and on the outside in the open, as I dare for you both to go and try to catch me then if you can, androids, with Ultra Android 18 having to then respond, oh, we can't just let him go and escape, but hurry 17, we need to forge a barrier to shield the lab at once. Right then, to which it was only just upon with the Ultra Androids then being shown creating a barrier around Bulma and Dr. Hedo and shielding them from the explosion was when Ultra Android 17 then went on to continue, well that was a close one just now, but it looks like that one there might be a tricky one to tag, since he appears to be using those portals of his to quickly jump in between worlds before he could fully be tagged by anything, with Dr. Hedo responding, what an incredible surge of power that was, and this barrier that they forged to shield us, it's outstanding, and they were actually able to go and respond so fast that those demons didn't even know what hit them, with Bulma having to then chime in, yeah, no kidding, but did they go on to put an end to those two out there for good is the real question, with Ultra Android 18 responding, you know, the two of you should go and stay put here and leave the rest of whatever is taking place on the outside for both me and 17 to handle from here on, you got that? And as we do just so happen to believe that it would be for the best if you did so anyways, because we don't want to go and run the risk of having anything happen to the two of you while this goes on, which speaking of, 17 then responds, hey Gamma 1, are you alright over there or what? How are you holding out and can you still continue to fight or do you still need a little bit of time to recover, with Gamma 1 responding, yeah, I think I'll be just fine out here, but, well, if the two of you are willing to go and step in by taking these two head on, well then by all means knock yourselves out while I keep an eye and defend the laboratory in the meantime then, and so I'll just go and stay here with Bulma and Dr. Hedo while you two go off and do your thing, with Kaima having to then respond, curse those wretched machines and these slimy little humans for building them, Kaima then went on to respond, and so now on me, Kyrax, for let us go and shred these pieces of trash before we go and lose the advantage that we just held. Well, with Gamma 1 still in the game, Ultra 17 went on to then chime in, what do you say we go and run these monsters down and show them on how we like to go and get down here on Earth before we go and turn their lights off permanently, with Ultra Android 18 responding, then let's go and show these freaks on just how dangerous we used to be like back in the day, but do make sure to go and leave that Kaima demon to me, 17. Well, I'd hate to have to go and ask here since I kind of already have a guess as to what you're doing over there, Bulma, but you don't surely plan on activating our Capsule Corp Supercell Max model now, are you? Dr. Hedo questions, with Bulma responding, Dr. Hedo, listen to me, for we are not going to let these demonic freaks go and have their way with us here, for they think that they can just storm in our facility, go inside and tear apart the entire building and overrun everything that we've built? Not on my watch, Bulma continues, and so, it's a good thing that we went and had been preparing for something like this, because now it's time for us to go and show these demons on exactly what we're capable of. And so you don't have to go and worry about its functions here either, because even you said it yourself when we were building this thing that this model is stronger, more controlled, and far more adaptable than your original Cell Max, and that means once it's deployed, Bulma continues, we will finally have something that will go and stand on the front lines and take the fight directly to those demons alongside with both Gamma 1 and Android 17 and 18, and so the time is now, Bulma continues. And so once this bad boy is operational and ready to go, those demons won't even know what's coming. So with the calibration process nearly complete and with the energy reactors at its peak output, Bulma continues, once we go and bring Super Cell Max to full power, it'll be an unstoppable force, as it won't just be a defensive weapon against them, but a colossal titan that was solely designed to protect this planet from anything that dares to go and try to threaten it. To which moreover, as this was shown happening, when then having to venture on back onto Lord Beerus' planet and seeing the arrival of Goku, Vegeta, and Broly upon Beerus being shown having to teach Vegeta the essence of destruction, was when Beerus then went on to quickly respond, well, now try it again, because you won't be able to learn how to wield it properly if you aren't able to fully concentrate your mind on summoning destruction energy first before infusing it with your paralysis technique. And so go and try it again and make sure that you are able to fully hold its power in line before morphing it into a paralysis agent, Vegeta. And so now start over and try again. Oh, damn it all, Vegeta responds. I almost had it right where I needed for it to be, but it continues to slip right through my fingers every time I try and redirect its aim and getting it to be used as a paralyzing maneuver rather than simply having it be an uncontrollable and destructive one. And so I think I got— wait a minute, Kakarot, you're back already? But surely you didn't intend on coming here if your original motive was to go and grab Broly and make your way to Earth, wasn't it? Or did something go and happen along the way, Vegeta questions, with Beerus having to then chime in. That's right, and why do you all look a little banged up there? Because you didn't look like that before you left my world, and so what exactly happened back on that Saiyan's home world? Well, we didn't honestly think that we'd have to go and come back so soon, Goku responds, but, well, not only did those demons go as far as to find us on planet Vampa and attack us before we can even know what hit us, but on top of it, they would also appear as though they are now on the hunt for us as well, Goku continues. So we couldn't really go and do much outside of simply grab Broly and come back here to ensure that none of us are ambushed whilst having to get away from the rest of the group, but there also now appears to be some kind of a sudden and dreadful shift that we also felt within the air as well, with Vegeta responding, well, we went and felt it too, and so this must be the work of that bastard Raijin, but what exactly happened to those demons then if you say that they went and attacked you all on planet Vampa the way they did, with Goku responding, well, they went and tried taking out Broly, but as soon as we went and stepped in to go and try to stop them, they went and used those demon portals as they made their way back inside of the demon realm, with Gohan having to then chime in, yeah, and with more of them now on the loose, we can't just go and take any more chances since they currently hold the numbers advantage here over us, and so I say, instead of allowing for them to come and try to go and attack us here in our universe, I say we should go and bring the fight to their front doorstep and go and challenge them directly in the demon realm, as Beerus went on to then quickly respond, well, with those annoying little demons aside, Beerus went on to then chime in, what exactly does this one think he's doing here? For he's been staring up at the sky now ever since he's gotten here, and so now what gives? Hey, are you alright there, Broly? Gohan then went on to question. You seem to be really fixated about something, and so what exactly is it that you keep staring at up there? With Broly responding, look closely up there above the clouds. There are portals that are starting to open, which means that they have found us, and so they're coming. With Gohan responding, hey, wait a second, look, he's right. Those rings in the sky, they were able to go and track us all down. To which it was only surprisingly enough, unbeknownst to our heroes within that very moment, as the evolved demon Haas went on to step through and addressing our heroes, was when Haas went on to then quickly respond, so I was right to go and assume that this was going to be where you wretched mortals would go and run off to, but I'm not surprised one bit by this decision, and especially since you all believe that its governing god of destruction, Beerus, is going to go and protect you all from what you all already have coming your way, but nevertheless, we are all now here. And since we will now go and ensure you all that there will be no more running away now that we are all finally here to meet you in battle, and I went and made sure to go and even the odds this time around by calling upon some additional reinforcements reinforcements just in case I needed it in order to ensure that you don't escape our clutches again, to which as the Dark Masters Gira and Jogo were then shown having to step through was when Gira then went on to respond, well, now would you go and take a look at what we have over here, for Haas was right to have predicted that this was going to be where you mortals were going to show up, and now that we have found them, it's time for our order to finally come to pass. And since you are all finally gathered together here and being exactly where we wanted for you all to go and be, we just hope you go and know that this is where you have reached the end of your line, as you will hereby meet your end right here, right now, with Jogo responding, oh, and look, well, if it isn't the one who went and was lucky enough to have gotten away from us when he first did after attempting to challenge our authority within the demon realm, for we have much to catch up on, don't we, Gira? And so now how do you want to go and do this? Because I say that we butcher these mortals here and now in preventing them from having a chance to go and fight back. But what say you, with Gira responding, oh, I see him, yes I do. But since of course we rarely ever find the chance in getting the opportunity to go and enjoy ourselves in punishing such pathetic little vermin like this, I say we go and have a little fun at their expense for a little while, in going as far as to inflict as much punishment onto their bodies and onto their souls that we could possibly go and exert, and then, only then, once we have went and had our fill in grinding these worms into the dirt where they belong, Gira continues, will we only then go and finish them off for good before we go and carry on by making our way into the other remaining universes within the multiverse, with Gohan then having to respond, oh, and so I take it that these two there are what make up two of the four governing Dark Masters of the Demon Realm then, is that it? But just how in the world did they just go about in having to track down our whereabouts as quickly as they just did? Oh, as I can only assume that it's more than likely due to the imbalance that they've caused all throughout the multiverse that had led them in tracking us all down the way they just did, with Goku responding, oh yeah, they are, and I would know best since I had to go and deal with these two back when I was first in the Demon Realm, with Vegeta responding, it's great, and it looks like they've brought company whilst going out of their way to come and find us, and so now brace yourselves everyone, because this is bound to go and get ugly real fast, and that goes for the two of you up there as well, demons. And so don't try to go and get the wrong idea about us all here either, with Gira chiming back in, well, we have quite the group of warriors on our hands down there now, don't we, Jogo? Because as cute as it is to see you all band together like a pack of rats, fighting amongst one another will not go and save you, with Jogo responding, and since you are the last of a very small few who stand in the way of having Lord Raijin complete his mission, from this moment forward, you will come to ultimately realize the dangers of your actions in choosing to defy us whilst knowing that you have no chance in stopping us, as Goku then went on to quickly shout, yeah, well, keep dreaming, because if the two of you think that we are just going to stand down and watch you plunge the multiverse into further darkness, then you demons have another thing coming, because we aren't looking to settle things here between us until we know for a fact that this is over and done with for good, and so don't even think about it, with Vegeta responding, well, if your intentions were to come and find us along with willingly going as far as to perish in battle for the sake of honoring your deranged master Raijin, then far be it from us to go and keep you waiting then, with Jogo being shown cracking his neck and responding, you're arrogant in assuming that you will go and walk away from this battle with a victory over any of us is your first mistake, for we will go and stop at nothing to ensure that Lord Raijin's will in having to eliminate all those who choose to go and stand in the way of his plans will be fulfilled, and in your cases, there will be no last-second comebacks given and no unexpected saviors that will go and pull you away from the abyss of our wrath. And for the promise that we have made to our great king in finishing the mission will be realized, with Gira responding, that's right, and unlike before, dear old son Goku, we will also go as far as to ensure that you will not be so lucky to be freed from your punishment like how you were shown being before, because since we are both here and since we already know as to what it is that we can expect from all of you, we hope that you are all ready for what is about to come, for you will not be so lucky to go and escape our judgment for a second time, and so in the name of Lord Raijin, let us commence forth and begin, as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Dark Masters The Official Murno Sequel Manga Chapter number 33 Special then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing, because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now I will go as far as to say that although I am rather surprised in seeing the end result of what Bulma and Dr. Hedo had created in witnessing the birth of these new Ultra Androids for the very first time in seeing them in action, what I am rather concerned about, however, is knowing the fact that with the Dark Masters now finally having to arrive onto Lord Beerus' planet in looking to battle against our heroes, I can't begin to help but wonder on how much time our heroes will have before things go from bad to so much worse if Raijin were to find them, and because of this, you do not want to go and miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video, and before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to UnrealEntGaming's channel for tons of new Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next one.
Hello! Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi!
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.